Yeah.
Okay, we are recording, and today is Tuesday, October 23rd, I think. I don't even
Like
know what day it is.
22nd.
Something like that. It's flying by. I do know that. But Heidi already jumped on and shared announcements on the Future Inspired, or on we changed the name. Instead of saying Future Inspired Area, it's going to be the Inspired Area. Whoever becomes a national gets to have that name. But right now, that's who who we identify as. That sounded pretty bad. I didn't mean to be political. But anyway, we're identifying as the Inspired Area and not the Future Inspired. I just have never liked that name, and people don't understand that are not Mary Kay what it means anyway. So we just changed the name of the Facebook group, but it is the Inspired Area. And so Heidi jumped on there and went ahead and shared announcements and all of that stuff. And so I wanted to share with you, we did this about a week and a half ago, kind of on Kelly's suggestion, because she had a lot of people and, she's still kind of working with those people. But in the meantime, what we did is we did a little bit of a different thing. And I want to share basically, we just had I shared just a tiny bit about me, but the main thing is having them share a little bit about themselves and also what their experience has been with Mary Kay. You kind of want to know that so that you know what you are, up against and what needs to be filled in and all of that. And then I just get to know them a little bit about their situation, about, what's going on in their life, just to be able to see, how Mary Kay might fill a need in their life potentially. And so, and then after we kind of had everybody go around and share, and I think we had a total of 5 between the 2 different time slots, and 2 signed up, and I think a couple more on Heidi's team are going to this month. So it went really well because we can actually, rather than just shouting out a bunch of information, it's much more interactive. And I'm happy to share my outline for anybody that wants to do this with their people. And then I also had, each one of them, I asked them this question. I said, hypothetically, if you ever were to start a Mary Kay business, what would you be looking for? That way I know what is her hot button. Is it extra money, girlfriend time, fun, flexibility, big discount on the products, or even a free car or career option? So, hi Jill, I like the lips. You guys got to help me figure out how to put those behind me. So anyway, asking them that question, really, they're telling you what's in the back of their mind if they were to think about doing Mary Kay. And so then it also helps narrow down what to share, because sometimes if we just blanket share all the information, it's way too much information for certain personality types. So just by asking them those questions and a little bit about them, you're going to get to find out a little bit more about their style, their personality, what they would need to know, all of that. And then after that, I kind of know what each person, what their hot button is. Then I start asking those questions, and this is the same similar thing that's on my marketing video is, asking them questions. And these questions, by the way, are to create a little bit of dissatisfaction in their life or pull it out if they have some. And so the first one being, whatever you're doing right now, is it your ideal dream job? Is this what you've always wanted to do? Is it your little girl dream? Just to kind of find out, like, are they even doing, what their field of study was in, all of that. Most of the time people say, well, I like this and that, but no, this isn't what I thought I'd be doing. Second question, do you have all the flexibility in the world? Can you take off a day or two or a week or two, or, take off for a month? Would you even have a job when you get back? Or do you have to kind of work your schedule around everybody else's schedule, they're way in advance to be able to take vacation? The third one, do you feel like you are paid what you're worth? Or do you even feel like you're paid what your job is worth? And a lot of people, they might say, well, I'm paid what the job is worth, but I feel like I'm worth a lot more. And, could you use a little extra income? Do you have more month and money? And so I just kind of make it fun depending on what their situation is, just creating a little bit of a need if they wanted extra money for something. And then, do you feel like you're making a positive impact or a difference with what you do right now? Are you helping others? Do you have, let's see, these questions on here are just a little bit different than the ones on the CD, but, I want to find out again, if you, do you feel like you get praise and recognition and kudos for a job well done? One of the gals that Heidi had on, that was her hot button. you know, she likes her job and she's got a variety there, but she doesn't feel appreciated at all. And she's doing multiple people's job now. So you never know which thing they're going to be looking for. And then the final one is, if you gave it your all, could you drastically change your financial situation in the next few years with what you're doing now? You know, are you able to give yourself a raise, or do you need to, you know, go to your boss, or are you given just enough to kind of put you in the next tax bracket? So these questions are kind of designed to get people thinking about, well, maybe I like this and this and that about my job, but maybe there's other things that I'm missing out on. You know, fun, travel, prizes, recognition, flexibility, you know, upward advancement. So I kind of pull out, based on the questions that they answered and what I see in them, what kind of information I really want to share, if that makes sense. And so we keep it really simple on these. And I just say, if you answered no to any of these, Mary Kay might be something for you to consider. Then I just kind of briefly go into a little bit of the Mrs. Cap, the money, recognition, self-esteem, you know, personal growth, car, tax advantages, or advancement opportunity, and being your own boss. So you can pull out from that, again, whatever her hot button is. And I'm very intuitive with it. I'm sure that you guys would be too. And then I say, usually the people that are looking at our business want to know, what's the first step in getting started. And so then I tell them about the different options, the Pro Start, the E-Start that's on sale for 10, that there's a sample packet. At least right now there is. I don't know how long they're going to have that. And, you know, and then I answer their questions. Okay, so what burning questions do you have? Like, do you all feel like you have all the information that you would need in order to make a decision about whether or not you'd like to get started? And then I answer any of those questions. And then I ask them, you know, I thank them again for taking the time to get on. And I'm happy to share this outline with you guys because it's really effective. Then I say, okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to text your consultant. You're going to text her, one, no way, it's not for me. I'd rather starve to death than sell Mary Kay. That's one. Two, I just want to stay a customer, pay full price, maybe post a party here or there. Three, I'm kind of intrigued. I maybe just need a minute to think about it, or once in a while, someone will say, I need to talk to my hubby, but not as much today. But, you know, maybe they're not ready to make a decision today. And then four is, sign me up, you know, let's give it a try, you know. And then I give a free charcoal mats for people that make a decision that night. It has to be that night. So if they make a decision that night, I mean, gosh, they're paying $10 for a starter kit, which you never know. Even 35 is great. And they're getting a free $26 charcoal mask. And it's only costing you half of that. And they're making that decision rather than giving themselves too much time to talk themselves in and out and in and out of it. Because we see that happen all the time. Or somebody gets to them and, you know, is kind of a Debbie Downer. I know someone that got into it that didn't, you know, that wasn't successful, blah, blah, blah. So I keep it really simple on the Zooms, but I ask them to let her consultant know 1, 2, 3, or 4 that night. So she has a test, and I just say, just so that she knows how to follow up with you. And also that'll give you an entry into whatever drawing we're doing. And right now I just happen to say we have a $200 product drawing that we're doing. So that's what we did. That's what I've done the last few times that I've done these little Zoom share-a-thons. And first of all, before I keep talking, I want to, and does everybody have one of these team building brochures? Because it actually gets into exactly what's in each thing. I don't know if I know Heidi said she had looked for them and couldn't find them on section 2, but I have some, and it shows what's in those different kits for people that, if they want to know exactly what's in it. So I had these to be able to share, you know, because we had a gal that wanted to know exactly what was in it. So that's the Zoom outline that I've been using. And it was just short, sweet, to the point. And then I might just, if I'm sharing, I might share a little bit about my story, but not a lot, just enough to kind of that they can relate to, if there's something that I feel like they could relate to. So before I go on, does anybody have any questions about that little outline? Because, you know, it used to be that we would get together for lunch, we'd get together for coffee, we would do, you know, Saturday brunches, we would do all these things that were focused around sharing the marketing plan. Nowadays, we can jump on a Zoom. And It's instead of trying to find a place where you've got to meet up and, take 2 or 3 hours out of your day to meet up with somebody and have the expense of buying them a coffee or whatever, you can just jump on a Zoom. And I was mentioning to the girls a little bit earlier, I've been paying the $15 a month for several years now for the Winning Wednesdays with low participation from the unit. The nice thing about it is there is a big incentive that people can win cash, free starter kits, all of that. But people just aren't taking advantage of it. So I'm just gonna maybe give it until the end of the year and then evaluate whether or not I want to do that next year. And if we don't, then I would provide something, but we would maybe all go together in on something that we would give away for the month. Okay. So it's just a thought. I'm happy to keep paying the 15, but right now we don't have anybody in the unit that's consistently participating or getting guests on. And sometimes it's a little far removed because it's people that don't live here. It's great because it's a bigger picture. It's nationals and motivational. And I like listening in. Sometimes I'll just have it in the background and listen in, and it's short and sweet, but um always kind of evaluating what's working because sometimes like they want to know you. They want to know the real person that is connected to the person that got them on. And ideally, each of you want to be equipped to be able to share anytime, any place where you're not having to wait for a Mary Kay event. And so that's where I suggest that you really study. I gave you guys at the retreat just the kind of the basics, on the marketing plan as far as, how we make money if people need to know that. Most people don't need to know all that. They don't even need to know all the commissions and what they get at each level, other than there's 3 avenues of income, income commission from sales as immediate, and of course the reorder business, team building commissions and bonuses, and then leadership commissions and bonuses. Now, if I have somebody that says, I want to know how to earn a car, how do I become a director? And, and I'm one-on-one with her, I'll certainly go into that. But it's about 1 out of 5 or 6 that really need that information before they decide. I was one of those people, even though I said I'm not going to do this. So I don't really need to know that. But I wanted to know that because internally I was intrigued. If you have somebody that asks those questions, it's somebody that might be really considering it more as a career. But most of the time we overwhelm them if we share too much information. And that's why it's really good to take a chill pill and find out a little bit more about their personality so that you know what to share. And I just went over this with Kelly on a Voxer not too long ago of the DISC personality styles and kind of knowing what to share as far as Mary Kay information. And if you've never done the disc, you can find a free one online to do, but it's DISC. Many of us have done it for years with Bill Cantrell. And the D being more of the dominant, more career driven, leadership style. And the dominant personality style is fast paced and task oriented and typically achievement oriented. It's about accomplishment. A lot of those are going to be your leaders. Again, fast pace, want advancement. They don't want to have to wait for somebody to get out of the way for them to move up. And so you really talk about the bigger picture. You can earn a car, you can promote yourself at your own rate, you can become a leader in as little as just a couple months. You can actually promote yourself to the top position of national sales director. There's even retirement, which is called family security. Like those are the things you really want to stress, and you want to keep it to the point and kind of match her pace. So with the dominant personality style or a D style, you don't want to get all the fluff in there and all the fun, rah, 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 or all the facts and figures. You tell her what she needs to know. With the influence, and how do you know? Is usually they're going to tell you about their accomplishments. Like if you're asking her questions, they're going to talk about, I'm the manager here and I was the president of this. And, typically they're take charge, leadership, fast pace. So I know that I had a lot more D in my personality style when I started Mary Kay. I'm kind of a mix now, a little bit more with the I, but I was really a high D when I started. April's probably more on that level. I would say probably Jennifer Poole, not to pick on anybody, just style wise. So I is the influencing personality style. So kind of pertaining it to Mary Kay, that's where you can get in. There's so much fun, and we have the sisterhood, and we travel, and we do retreats, and there's prizes. You practically get a round of applause for sneezing in Mary Kay. There's weekly, monthly, quarterly big prizes, seminar. You really get into the dazzle and the kind of the Cinderella story. and, you know, just that friendship and the rah-rah, um, that Mary Kay offers, because a lot of times they don't really care how they make money. They just are, you know, and they end up making money because they have charisma a lot of times. But how do you know if she's the I? Well, she talks about, you know, I was the cheerleader, and I'm generalizing, of course. And, you know, I like to have fun. I like my girlfriend time. I love to travel. I like prizes, blah, blah, blah. So then the S personality, that would be more of like the steady personality. And oftentimes, steady personalities are like the teachers, the nurses. They're a little bit slower paced. And by the way, the influencing personality is also fast paced, but they're people oriented as opposed to task oriented. Okay. I'm doing this all from memory. So this S personality, or the steadiness personality, that is going to be somebody who is, maybe they, you know, they like consistency. We want to stress that we've got a great training program in Mary Kay. It's step by step. You can do it in modules. It's available on Mary Kay in Touch at your own pace. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We're going to be right there with you. It's a sisterhood, and just the safety and the security that Mary Kay's debt free, you know, that it's family owned. Like there's a lot, you know, that really appeals to our steady person. We're service oriented. We teach people, we service them. It's not about high pressure sales. So again, we appeal to all the personalities, but especially I think to the S personalities. And yes, we do all have, you know, Deb, we do all have all the personalities, depending if we're at work or at home or with our friends, different aspects can come out. But how do you know if somebody's a steady personality? They're going to be a little bit slower pace, slower, steadier, step by step. And, you know, they may be the kind that really doesn't want to leave their family. You know, they want to make sure they're there for every little thing with their family, those kinds of things too. I'm just giving you little pieces that kind of jump out with the steady personality. So they're people oriented as well, but they're a little bit slower pace. And then the C, MJ says, I'm the C in the group, you know, critical, analytical, detail oriented. April has a little bit of that too. Like she wants to get it right, you know, and get the facts and figures right. And, you know, be like product knowledge junkie, all those things. The C personality, that's the kind of person, and probably the S and the C personality, it's usually a layering process. Like it's probably going to be a 2-part interview. They may not be the quickest to make decisions. They're slower paced, but they're again more task oriented. So when somebody says, well, what do you want to know? You know, what do you want to know about me? And again, people who are more analytical in the way that they're wired and the way that they think, you know, would be more considered a conscientious or compliant. There's different names for it, but the C personality, and they're going to want every piece of literature that Mary Kay has. And they're going to want to know, you know, stuff that's in print by the company, not just photocopies that we hand out, you know, that kind of stuff too. So that's just kind of a little teaser on the disc on what to share. And I made the mistake, I think I shared with you guys, I did like 21 sharing appointments before I got my first recruit that didn't recruit herself, because my first gal recruited herself. She just wanted the discount for her and her daughter, and she already knew that, and I didn't have to even do the marketing. But I was overwhelming people with way too much information, way too much facts and figures, and way too much D personality, and almost like, why isn't everybody doing this, you know? And so it's better to kind of pace with them, mirror with them, tone, inflection. Oftentimes I'll have to slow myself down when I'm talking, depending on the style of the personality, and listen more. We want to listen. Mary Kay said, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth to use appropriately, because it's about really drawing out of her as much as you can to see if it is a fit. And I always tell people, you know, it's not for everybody, but I think everybody should at least try it, you know, or try something like this. And it's kind of a no-brainer right now. It's a $10 commitment, and then we go from there. So based on the personality styles, does anybody have any questions about that piece? This is being recorded too, by the way. Questions, comments? Let me look down here and see. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in the chats. Okay. Can you guys kind of identify your own personality style? Okay. I'm looking in here. Yeah, we'll put it in the Facebook. Concept of local peeps doing window. Okay, thank you, Kelly, for that. I'm an S. Yes. I was 100% I when I joined. I'm way more balanced now. Vanessa. I have all the pieces, but mostly us. And that's what happens is, as we grow personally, we begin to bring out different personality styles. We may be a whole different person with our family. We may be a different person if we work another job. We may be another person with our friends too. So it's allowing, you know, you're actually trying to meet her where she is in terms of what you're sharing. It's not about putting anybody in a box because we need all types to attract all types, right? And we learn the most from the people that are not the same personality style as us. I certainly do, especially when it comes to a lot of the techie stuff. Because when I came into Mary Kay, we didn't have it, and we were encouraged as leaders to delegate that stuff. So, sometimes it's like I find it really beneficial to talk to people about more of those detailed things. But we know we all have to stay up. So, all right, does anybody have any questions about that before I move on? Okay, I didn't update this completely, but I did want to share this because it's some of the top reasons to team build right now and top reasons for people to join Mary Kay right now is the first of all, hello, $10 e-start, $10. Never, ever, ever has it been less than that. It's practically free with girl math, right? That gets them the website, the back office, the credit card processing, a lookbook, and some samples. Okay. It gets their foot in the door, as Ryan said, so that we can meet all the needs and the demands of people doing the business in different ways, especially for people that are doing a completely virtual business. The eStart is plenty, right? They have access to everything they need. And a lot of, again, I'm generalizing this younger market, Gen Z, Gen X, Y, Z, no, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. A lot of them, they don't want to touch all the paper. They don't want to have all that stuff. They just want to be able to work from their phone, work from their computer, do everything virtual and on social media. So that's the number one reason for us to share, first of all, and reach out, because I don't know they'll ever do that again, but also for people to join right now. Another thing is a lot of people are, this is kind of that time of year, a lot of people look for a little part-time gig to make a little extra money for Christmas shopping. I remember Lisa Madsen, one of the top nationals in the company year after year, she just joined Mary Kay to make a little extra Christmas cash. And again, it's even probably more than that right now. It's a cash for the holidays, but it's also meeting the cost of living. I was talking with somebody yesterday and she goes, I don't really even understand. Like, I am not frivolous, but I don't know why we're not in a better financial position. And, we saw a lot about, there's been about a 25% increase when you talk about the increase in energy, food, and gas, just to maintain your cost of living from a year ago to now. And so understanding that unless somebody, has something where they can actually have like a $10,000 to $15,000 raise, or 20, depending on what they make, they're kind of they're becoming further and further behind financially. So ways to make a little extra money or a lot of extra money, depending on what they want to put into it. The other thing is too, like we're kind of at the end of a tax year. So if they do get a starter kit and or any product or have any expenses kind of getting started, they can take that tax deduction right now. For consultants, another reason is we get double credit. You get double credit on your orders. And then of course you can shop, for Christmas for a lot of people at 50% off, because most people can use something that we have, right? Except for babies, but extra money at night cream. So double credit for you, but it also counts double credit for our unit goals as well. So any team building that you do counts double credit for you for the national court and the company court. It counts double credit for team building and sales, and then also for our unit club for the year, which also determines where we sit at company events. Our seating is based on how we do. The next one, you can promote a business where you can make money right from your home through social media and all the online platforms, right? Just through the use of social media and websites. A lot of people communicate that way, only through those apps or texting. So working from home, being able to, especially for young moms with babies, people that are looking for something part-time flexible, We have that here. The next one, it's a business where you can profit immediately from sales instead of waiting for unemployment checks, government aid, or even a monthly paycheck. Um, it's hard to imagine, because we get paid every time we sell anything. You sell a lipstick you just made over minimum wage, right? But a lot of people wait and maybe they're paid once or twice a month. And sometimes things don't line up, if people are struggling. I know a lot of the young people that I've been talking to are, and so they like to get paid every week or every 2 weeks. We get paid every time we sell something. It's not like a house where you have to wait for months and months for that thing to close, right? Then also you can add to the income, by getting commissions on team members. And I kind of broke that down. So I'm not going to break it down again today, but we broke it down at the retreat. When, and maybe it may not seem like that much right now for 9 or 13% as a team builder. Over time, that adds up. There's been times when I've made over $2,000 just on my personal team commission of 13%. If you have a lot of people on your team, you're building multiple streams of income. So yes, it may not be happening for you today if you have a tiny little team, but over time you're getting paid over and over again and exponentially on the work you put in now. So don't wait to be great, don't wait to be able to share the opportunity. You're building that as you go. Another thing is that sometimes people might have a little extra time on their hands. A lot of people do take time off during these upcoming holiday months, and they're around a lot of people, family members, things like that, a time to introduce the products. Or if you're traveling, take your Mary Kay and write that trip off if you're going somewhere for Thanksgiving or Christmas. And typically you're around a lot more people. And so it's a way to kind of get it out there that you're in this business. If they haven't tried it yet, you need to borrow their face, those kinds of things. Another thing is, and this has been talked about quite a bit with the lipstick factor, with the Wall Street Journal, during hard economic times, people will spend money on small feel goods, alcohol, tobacco, and cosmetics are the top three, and entertainment is the fourth. So like movies, things that make people feel good, even if they can't spend money on, jewelry or homes or clothes or new cars or things. It's small things that are consumable too. Many women enjoy being home with their children, especially during this time. And a lot of people are, homeschooling nowadays. We're seeing so much more of the homeschooling where they're at home with the kids, but they kind of need to get away from the kids, So that's another thing, a way to kind of get out and meet other women and have a reason to, still be that stay-at-home mom, milk and cookies mom, but have a little extra fun and income and connection with other adult people. So, so they can still stay at home and all of that. And, we really saw this like during COVID, especially with kind of the stay-at-home shelter thing. Right now, we don't necessarily have to worry about that, but we are set up to do it every which way. The other thing is, I think a lot of people forget about the, ready, set, sell, but then there's the ready, set, keep selling. And then the team building on that, like as a new consultant in your first few months, when you team build for those that become qualified, if you're in your great start period, then you can actually win 110 or get a $110 bonus bundle. You can get 2 of them for every new qualified team member you add. And Kelly and I know she really went for every little thing. She maxed out continuing to turn that product and sell it and get $600, because every $600 extra in that great start period above and beyond your initial inventory, you're getting another $110 bonus bundle. Every team member that you get that's qualified, you get 2 of those. And then she gets them too, like she gets all her bonuses too. So the company really wants you to get out there and make it happen in those first few months instead of waiting till you feel like you know everything. So the other one is, in addition to those percentages that we spoke about, you get a $50 team building bonus for every qualified new team member. So you get a couple of those. That's an extra $100 in your pocket, and they pay you that immediately. Used to be you would wait until the end of the month, and then the next month on the 15th, when you would get your paycheck, that's when you'd see those bonuses. They're immediate now. As directors, it's 100, but as consultants, it's $50. Again, it's a thank you check from the company for helping to build the company. Then the security. Our company is truly in the right place at the right time, debt-free. They have their own new manufacturing facility. We have this new Botox product coming out we'll be talking about here pretty soon. Pretty excited about that. But we have our own, resources to be able to make those products right here in the USA too, which is what kept us an essential company during COVID. And again, we're self-employed. Nobody can fire us, right? Nobody can really ever lose their job, no matter what happens in the world. You're never at risk for that. And I have a lot of clients that work for these tech companies or, other companies, headhunter companies or pharmaceutical reps, or even my oldest son, Brian, they fired half his staff, and they're, coming down on him for the production. He was like, I fired half my staff, because they were cutting back because of economic times. And, we don't have any risk of that in Mary Kay. Nobody can hire us or fire us. We can fire ourselves and hire ourselves again every single day if we want to. So we truly, truly have job security in our world, in the Mary Kay world. And then there are many people out there that want to be part of something bigger. This is something that we're seeing a lot. This is with the next generation. They want to make a difference. They don't just want to make a bunch of money and become super successful and give up family and freedom. And lifestyle is a big thing for the younger market. I see that a lot with Jesse's friends. It's like they would rather not make the six figures if they have to give up, having some flex time and being able to have the lifestyle that they want. And so the part of being a community and kind of being a part of a tribe and focused on a common good is very appealing to a lot of people. So, I'm going to ask you guys some questions to kind of get the juices flowing and maybe get a piece of paper out here, because this might get the juices flowing of people that maybe you could reach out to, because we still have 10 more days to finish out this month of October. And we're starting out pretty strong, but we have a big goals to max out double credit. So get a piece of paper out or a notepad or a phone or something. But who do you know who, number one, needs more money in addition to the job that they're working? Who do you know that has more month than money? Just be thinking about, you don't have to write the question down, but write down, who do you know? Who comes to mind that could use some extra cash? The second one, who do you know that's really unhappy in their current job? They want to find something else to do, but they don't maybe necessarily know what that is. I did not know it was Mary Kay that I was looking for. I just knew that I was looking for something that gave me all the things that Mary Kay gives us, but I didn't realize that that's what Mary Kay gave us. That makes sense. But maybe they're not happy where they are and they're not in an environment that is serving them and they're looking for something different. Who do you know who wants more flexibility? Make more money, work less hours. Who do you know who is friendly and loves people? Maybe they don't even know they're looking for more, but they're friendly and they love people. We know that in Mary Kay, it's really just about transferring our excitement and our belief about our products and about our opportunity. Who do you know who's looking for a more positive group of friends? This is talked about a lot. Like, we are like the 5 people we spend the most time with. And so if you look around, you don't like the people that you're hanging out with, sometimes you end up dropping a little bit to the level of the people that you're hanging out with, because sometimes you think you can be that positive force that brings everybody up. And that can be exhausting and tiring if you have people surrounding you that are negative Nellies. And Mary Kay said, if you run into somebody like that, even if they're at a Mary Kay meeting, run. Those were her words. Somebody that's a negative Nelly, that's always beating the drum on everything that's wrong. And, people are going through a lot right now. It doesn't mean that you can't have compassion for people, but, we are where we are by the choices we make, or allow other people, the choices other people make. We allow them to make for us. That's what I'm trying to say. Linda Tupin's saying. So, really think about that. Like, are you around the kind of people? Would you trade places with them? Are they living the kind of lifestyle that you want? Are they in the mind frame that you would enjoy? Are they people you'd like to be more like? Okay, another one is, who do you know that needs a social outlet to get out with other women or other people? And we're seeing a lot of that, like Jackie on Kelly's team, she joined literally is just so that she'd go that retreat, right? Um, she joined because she was new to the area and needed an outlet and a place to be able to meet people. It's surprising how many women are looking for something like that, especially those of us of a certain age, where some people are starting over or they're not quite ready to throw in the towel and retire yet. So, that's something that draws a lot of people. Who who loves the product and buys a lot of it. So again, sometimes we might say, I don't want to give up all my good customers, but if you have, that was me, I was a really good customer. If you have somebody that's a really good customer, that's going to make one of your best consultants, first of all. And, the worst case scenario, if they don't end up following through and working it as a business, they'll fall back into your customer base eventually. But I don't know any of us that don't use more of it because we get it at 50% off, right? So we feel a little bit more permission to take more of it out there and use more of the product line. And I use everything. And I always tell people, yep, I use everything, Mary Kay, head to toe, fragrance, body care. Like if we have it, I use it. Why would I use somebody else's product? Ours is the best. And we get the best deal on it too. So who do you know? Um, and this is when I had a couple people last year that joined for this reason who have several daughters, coming into the age where they're beginning to use products. Again, just as you're kind of contemplating these things, write down the names of the people that come up for you. Maybe if they've got 2 or 3 daughters and they're using the product, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? As it was for me and my sisters and my mom and my niece. Who do you know who's always wanted to own their own business? A lot of people, might have that idea that they would love to have their own business or be self-employed, but that can entail quite a bit if you're not starting with something that already has kind of a path to run on and a career path already set up for you. And Mary Kay, we have so much support. We have over 20, almost 3,000, I think, company employees, corporate employees, even though we're self-employed, that support us in our world. Who do you know who is an achiever who would like more recognition and prizes and just kind of be more acknowledged for what they do? Find those high achievers. Don't think that just because they're already, I think of you, Sandy, like you have a lot in your life going on and you're really sharp and you're great at what you do. And you know what? And I don't know what you're enjoying the most about right now about Mary Kay. Hey, your hubby's behind you, I think. But, you know, finding places to win and achieve and advance and be challenged and all of that, it seems like that's something that appeals to you. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but those are the kinds of people that you want to go after. Who's a mover and a shaker and doesn't want to be limited on how fast they can move up? Maybe they've hit that glass ceiling or, they're in a situation in their job where they have to wait for somebody to die or retire. That was me in 2 of my previous jobs. That's kind of where I was. I would move up and I would take another position, then I'd be stuck until somebody died or retired. Who do you know who likes to travel a lot or, wants to or lives in different places, has different family members, different circles in different parts of the country? Because those people can appeal, reach out to people in different areas and write those trips off. I'm doing that when I go to San Antonio in January. I'm going to stay and spend some time with Sam to do some training with her. Who do you know who could use a brand new car? Mary Kay's giving them away for those who become directors. Now it's just directors who can. Who wants to earn the use of a brand new free car every other year. Who do you know who is an empty nester or could use some tax advantages? I'm going to mute this for 1 second. Oopsie. Okay, I'm just turning it down. All right, so who do you know? Let me see, I lost my track here. Empty nesters. And that isn't the real thing, you guys. People go through major grief oftentimes when all the kids, fly the coop, especially if it's boom, boom, boom. After they celebrate, it's like, now what? Um, who do you know who is entrepreneurial and wants to be able to set their own hours? Who do you know that's who is a college student looking for flexibility and ways to make some extra money while in school? We already said travel. Who do you know that is a personal growth junkie? They just like to grow personally, learn new skills, become more confident, more outgoing, all those things, be challenged. Who has asked you about how you got into Mary Kay? Or, asked you about what you do? Anybody at your parties, when they start asking those kinds of questions, there's some level of interest there. Okay, gotcha, gotcha, Sandy. Thank you. Who do you know has a large circle of influence? That's another thing. Who do you know that likes to host parties and events? Who do you know who works with large groups of women? I remember when I started Executive Women International, it was one of those things where only one person in each field could be a part of it. And I had to wait to take my turn because Ann Little Roberts, she was another consultant that was in the group. My friend Jackie Molinar owned a jewelry store. And so the second that Ann dropped out of the group, she got me in there. And I started figuring out like all these women are executives in their, and Sally Sabino was from that group, by the way. Sally, Lisa Harp, Karen Bewig, the gal that ran the Owyhee Plaza. Like I ended up recruiting, and it was a small group of maybe 40 or 50 people. Ended up recruiting about Shannon May was another one. I ended up recruiting about 10 people. These were high achieving women that had circles of networking and that they were all boss babes in of their own right. And several are still with me today. Sally became a career consultant as a director. So don't underestimate or think that, because of what we do and because somebody's already successful, that they wouldn't be interested. Let's see. Who do you know who used to be an executive, but maybe they're staying at home with kids now, or they have retired? I know like Susie or Sue, Mary's aunt, she kind of semi-retired, but then she went back. But like people that have left their job or they've gone into retirement or they're transitioning. Who do you know that likes to volunteer or that's really into philanthropy? I know that Kelly does a lot of the fundraisers and things with her Mary Kay. And all of these things are things that in my 35-year career in Mary Kay, I've taken advantage of a lot of these different things along the way. But who do you know in your life? And then the last one, who do you know who's looking for something to do where they can build up some retirement? Maybe their job is kind of paying the bills for now, but they haven't really started building the extra income for their family for their retirement. So, as you start thinking of people, put little stars next to those people that you haven't shared the opportunity, or maybe you have, and it's time for another layer for them. You may even want to offer them 50% off a product of their choice just to get together with you to hear more about it. And again, right now, we're always giving something away, right? But right now, what we're doing for those who listen to our marketing plan for this month, in addition to the company $10 offer, we're giving $200 of product of their choice away. And of course, you're getting a whole bunch too. You're getting a whole bunch of incentives. We don't incentivize because it's a $10 starter kit. The starter kit is something Mary Kay does so that we as consultants will go out and offer. It is a gift to us. But we incentivize the consultants to just get the juices flowing and to get out there and share. Because again, historically, we know that the average consultant will only share if she's new and excited and or if she has a goal to move up in the business. So even if that's not your goal, get outside yourself right now and think about who could benefit from Mary Kay for not just the ways that you've benefited, but all the things I just shared. So I can I can send that list out too. We can send that email out too, so that you have that, so that you can do a little brainstorming and think about who do you have in your life that might fit into that. All right. Oh, good. I thought maybe I was still on mute. That would have been funny. You guys would have told me though. All right. Okay. So that's what I had in today for you guys today, just in case we didn't have any guests get on. I wanted to have a little backup for some training, and I want to just kind of open it up because I'll get back on at 7:30 just in case. Does anybody have anybody confirmed to get on at 7:30? Okay. So what questions, comments, feedback do you guys have?
Great training. Thank you, Denise, for sharing your wisdom and just reminding us of all the great reasons why we are doing Mary Kay and why others would want to as well.
You bet. Thank you. Did you guys all come up with some people on your list? Okay. Yes. Vanessa says yes. Kelly says yes. Outline. Yes. I'll get you guys the outline. I got to move up here a little bit. 8 new messages. Okay. Deb has a start. Vanessa has a great list of names. You guys remember, we're not limited to any territories too. All right.
I just wanted to say, Denise, for me, because we all have different seasons in Mary Kay. Obviously, that's the great thing about the flexibility. And having been somebody who I've been in for a while and in different levels of leadership and everything, it's such a great reminder to just hear it all again and try and visualize it from the perspective of well, way back when I did join, why did I join? Why am I still here? But then also taking into consideration the financial situations that so many people are in, even those who have great jobs because of just where the economy is at. And so I just appreciate the reminders because it's almost like it gets me excited all over again, and I'm going into a new season. So I'm just like, it's so easy or it would be so easy to just paint that vision for other people and to, invite them to come along with us. And I think that that's the thing that we need to remember is to not answer for them and to not prejudge them, to just invite them along open-handedly and open-heartedly and let them make that decision. And so it just got me excited all over again. So I appreciate that.
I'm glad you said that, Rebecca, because you've been in lots of different phases of life with, kids, single mom, married, moving, different things that you're doing in addition. I have too, married, with teenagers and then divorced and then a little one, baby came home in pink Cadillac, but all the phases, right, of life, hobby time, part-time, full-time, career. And so again, not everybody is going to stay in Mary Kay for the reason they joined Mary Kay. That changes too. We all shift in our life. And in the 35 years that I've been a lot of different reasons why Mary Kay has appealed to me and why I'm still here. So yes. All right. Anybody else? Anyone? Okay. Well, this is recorded, so we'll send it out in an email and we'll get my outline out to you guys of all those things that I just shared so that you can just build that list and get out there and start sharing with people. Again, the consultant contest that we're doing right now, anybody that shares with 10 people, average is you're probably going to get a couple, 3 new team members, right? And also you get extra entries. I think that you have to share with 10 to get the entries into the contest for the Tory Burch watch. And we're doing a massage, a pedicure, product, and jewelry. So we have a lot that we're giving away. Sometimes it's tricky finding things that will motivate the masses. So we do a little bit of everything for the consultants. And then you also get extra entries if you max out any of the double credit categories too. Okay. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, check out the Facebook Inspired National Area, because all the announcements and stuff are on there, or check them out in your email box. And next week, and we're going to start a sign up too for food for open house. And we're also looking to find out for the holiday dinner, those who are attending. Let's see, I've got Kelly down, I've got Vanessa. I don't know, Jill, are you and your hubby coming to the holiday dinner?
Possibly. I need to talk to him and see
Okay.
what our schedule is, but
We're just trying to figure
I
out.
plan on being there. I just need to see if he's coming.
Okay. Usually Jen brings your mom as her plus one.
Nice.
She's allowed. Okay, so we'll put that out there. And then next week, is that our product preview? I'm just like, where are we? I'm trying to remember what we're doing next week.
Yeah, so next week is Casual Connection Potluck.
Oh, Casual Connection. That's right.
Yep, and then the week after that is Winter Product Preview.
That's right. I was like, okay, where are we in October? It's going so fast. But let's keep sharing, you guys. We have 10 more days. And if you do have somebody that you know, just want to plant the seed with them, and maybe you're not able to get them on a call, send them the marketing video that they can watch. It will give them everything they need to make a decision. There is a code word at the end. And once they either text you that code word, or they can text me the code word, either way, then they'll get entered in the drawing for the $200 in free product, even if they don't want to get on something that we're doing, okay, like a Zoom or something like that. So people have different levels of interest. And I can't tell you how many people that didn't even know they were interested until they heard the marketing plan. I was one of them. So get out there and share. We've got 10 more days and we have some goals, because we're moving, you know, this is kind of the month to really focus on team building. The next couple months, we focus a lot more on sales, holiday sales, Halloween goodie bags, you know, getting makeovers, things like that. So have a wonderful, fantastic week, everybody. I'll jump back on at 7:30 just in case. Thanks for jumping on. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.